So Amazon has banned the sale of NMN on their platform. I think there's both good news and bad news to this. We're going to go ahead and take a look at both. So there was an article posted on a website called Natural Products Insider. I'm going to read some of it. I'm going to paraphrase some of it. That's where all this information is coming from. I'll link that in the description below so you can check it out. So let's take a look. So Amazon has advised sellers of NMN they can no longer sell the anti-aging ingredient as a dietary supplement. Amazon is basing this on the decision that the FDA made last year that NMN is no longer considered a dietary supplement, but rather is deemed a drug or drug ingredient that requires FDA approval. Now, this is coming from an email that Amazon has sent out to NMN sellers. Products that contain NMN as an ingredient can no longer be sold or distributed as a dietary supplement by manufacturers or retailers in the United States. They're citing the FDA's decision. If you want to sell NMN on Amazon, you must show that you are approved by the FDA for over-the-counter sales. Amazon is allowing the sale of NMN containing products until March 13th, 2023. And after that date, the merchant has to meet FDA approval, the requirements, including like uploading, labeling, and all this kind of stuff that the FDA requires for finished or unfinished drugs. So I think this is kind of an easy out for Amazon. Think about it, because you have, on the one hand, you have good companies putting pressure on Amazon to investigate and not allow these bad companies from selling fake NMN. And on the other hand, you have the FDA and their decision process regarding NMN as a dietary supplement. So it's very easy for Amazon just to say, okay, we're just going to step out of this altogether. So let's talk about the good news. And I think there's a lot of good news here. So what we have is a lot of the NMN, the majority of the NMN, something like 65% of the NMN that was being sold on Amazon or is being sold still, is not actually real NMN. It's fake NMN. So a very large distribution channel is being taken away from those companies so they can no longer use that as a vehicle to take advantage of people like you and me. I think that's good news. I really don't worry about it much anyways. I don't go through Amazon to get my NMN. I get it directly from a company called Do Not Age. They're very high quality. They sell pure NMN. It's third-party tested. It's manufactured to GMP certified standards. So I don't really need Amazon, and neither do you. You can get this directly from the companies, good companies that are selling actual NMN. Now let's look at the bad news. The bad news is that a very large distribution channel is now being taken away from good companies like ProHealth Longevity, who are actually selling real NMN. This is going to hurt them financially. And perhaps another reason it's for bad news, or this being bad news, is the perception. The people might think, well, if Amazon's not allowing the sale of NMN, then NMN must be bad. And what about other companies that sell NMN? Are they going to see, well, if Amazon's backing down, well, maybe we should too? I hope that doesn't happen. But that is some potential bad news. And could that lead to the ultimate enforcement of the FDA's decision to disallow the sale of NMN as a supplement? Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. The CEO of Natural Products Association, Dan Fabricant, who actually used to work for the FDA, and he oversaw their dietary products division. The article goes on to say that he describes that Amazon's decision on NMN as an unfortunate development, but mirrors the nonsensical chain of events on NAC in so many ways. So NAC was another supplement that is very beneficial that the FDA said, oh, that can't be sold as a supplement. Amazon stopped selling it for a while. Then a lot of people made a lot of noise and said, whoa, this is a natural ingredient, etc. And then the FDA backed off. They call it discretionary enforcement, which sort of was a lot more lenient. And then all of a sudden, NAC was allowed to be sold on Amazon once again. So Dan Fabricant is saying, hey, this is almost exactly like that, and Amazon should resume the sale of NMN immediately. Then he says this is a very premature, as we are unaware of the final agency action on the matter. So he's referring to the FDA. He's saying we're unaware of the final action on the matter. So it's still not the FDA hasn't actually put their foot down and said, yes, we're going to enforce this decision. He also said in an email, Amazon should restore sales of NMN on their platform immediately. Again, he used to work for the FDA, so he knows quite a lot about what he's talking about. Okay, let's go back to the good news so we can end this on a positive note. The good news, once again, is that these companies that are selling fake NMN are no longer going to be able to do this on Amazon. NMN is still available. You can still get it. And you don't need Amazon really to get NMN. You can go to companies like Do Not Age or other companies that are selling NMN, and you can go to them directly. And besides that, if for some reason that NMN somehow becomes unavailable as a supplement, we can switch to other NAD boosters. If that happens, then I'm just going to switch to NR.